We've got an LG French door refrigerator with the bottom freezer, and I've seen some issues online that people will get ice down in this compartment down here. And so my wife and I have already chipped it out a couple of times, and so what we've done, we're going to take off the back panel back there, access the drain compartment, and make sure it gets thawed out. We're also going to clean behind the fridge. We've pulled it out, and so we'll take off this back panel here, and I don't know if you can see, but it's super dusty in there. There's all kinds of nasty stuff under the fridge. We just moved in, so there's a lot of like dog food chunks, random food underneath, and we're just going to clean it up. So that's our goal for today. So I've got a shop vac ready. I've got some sockets and my drill to take off some bolts. We'll kind of walk through the process. We've taken all the food and set it outside on the porch. It's actually about 40 degrees outside today, so it should stay pretty cool. And we'll kind of walk you through. The first thing we're going to do is take off these bolts here on the side to take the door off. So we'll be back in a minute. Alright, you can see the back panel's been taken off. My wife's already been vacuuming it a fair bit. These coils really need to get clean. But you can see this line right here is the line that comes from the freezer compartment. It's supposed to go into here, into this pan, and then to evaporate out. And obviously nothing is flowing. So that's our goal today, is to get that baby flowing. Gotten these three bolts off, and I'm working on the other side, and wouldn't you know it, the one that I need is the 10 millimeter, and it's the one I've lost. If any of you out there know how to not lose these sockets, man, I'd love to know. Okay, so I've taken off the doors. That comes off pretty easily. This thing had a basket, you can see right there. Comes out really easily. Obviously we took out the ice tray. By the way, we did turn off the water supply to the ice tray. And that's underneath the cabinet over here. And then to get the center support out, so I've heard online that we're going to be pushing up here, so I'm going to do that and then I'll be right back. So there's that center support, and yep, they were right. You just kind of push up here, and these little things pop right off these center supports. You can see a little hole right there. Now, if you're like me and weren't sure what to do, you would have taken off the back side of this. But it turns out you actually don't even need to do that. Maker, you've got these two things you just loosen, and then they pop right through these tabs here. There's one screw on the bottom. It's going to go in that screw hole. So you get that off, and then the connector here, there's two tabs, one on each side. Usually just pry it a little bit with a screwdriver, popped right off, and then this hose that pulls water in, you don't have to do anything, it comes right off. Now in another video, where I got my inspiration, by the way, their brackets went into this back wall, but it looks like on my fridge it doesn't do that. So we're going to take off these screws and start to see what happens. Who knows, we might have to pull these off in the end. And screw that off here. I can't find any other screws, but it looks like it sets right in. Just kind of clicks almost right in. Having a hard time doing anything with that. I almost wonder if it's frozen on the back side shut. So water keeps coming out of these exhaust vents here. I'll come back. It turns out you just lift up here and it starts to come out. Of course it is catching on these sides, so more than likely I'm going to have to pop these off, so be right back. On these brackets you can see a tab here, and that tab goes in these holes, so when you pull it out, just simple enough, you unscrew it, but then kind of you twist it and it just pops right out. Very simple. Alright, so we got the panel off. Now in order to get that guy through, you push the two tabs through this hole, and then this guy unclicks from the one back there and it pops right off. This layer of ice underneath here, it's pretty intense. We're gonna probably grab a hair dryer and get to work on it. So definitely keep some rags and stuff because it's melting right down. All right, so here's the ice chunks that I pulled out from underneath here. So now we're gonna get up close. You see I've got some rags here. I've been using the hair dryer, and there's the plug back there that needs to thaw. Not 100% sure how we'll do that, but we're getting closer. You can see that the drain hole's finally thawed out. This has kind of taken all day long, off and on with a hair dryer, poured some warm water down. But man, underneath this metal we had ice everywhere, so it's taken a long time to defrost. All right, it's about time to reassemble. Just want to point out a few things. Make sure you attach these cords to, here's the back thing I'm going to put on. This guy will attach first, but then make sure you put that other one through this hole here before you seal it all up. Okay, got that in. I'm going to put the screw right in the middle there. Let me just note, when you put this in, you got to use a little bit of juice to push down here, 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 and then there's two clips kind of on the side that just sort of clip right in. So you'll have to push that in a little bit. As long as you have these pieces ready, you're good to go. First rail on the right side is placed in. Just want to point out, when you put this in, again, these tabs right here, just put those things in first, and the whole thing sits right in, then you'll screw down. There's 3 screws on each side. Wondering where exactly do a couple of screws go? Just point out, I just forgot the screw that goes on that back panel. You can see the hole right there. And then there's a screw that goes underneath the ice maker to hold it into place. One little note as you put the door back on, this front piece, we just realized on the back side of this metal, there's actually indentions. You can see it down here. It kind of pushes through. So you want to almost just put it straight on and then it'll fall into place versus we were trying to stick it all the way down. It wouldn't work. So that might help you as you put the door back on.